Hello, dear friends. A simulated democracy is the worst form of tyranny according to Plato. Opinion piece. What is hidden in Antarctica? 85 strange structures. 231 subglacial lakes. The news is surreal. The system is reached. Political chaos in France. First supermoon of the year. Let's start. What is Antarctica hiding? A European satellite is exploring Antarctica and detecting 85 unknown, mysterious and active structures beneath the ice. In addition, there has been a massive increase in cosmic rays and a massive fall at the South Pole. There is also a report of an unusual radio signal detected beneath the Atlantic ice, which has puzzled scientists, and they still have no clear explanation. This signal could be related to cosmic radiation entering the planet in an unconventional way. Under the Antarctic ice, the European Space Agency satellite called Cryosat detected 85 previously unknown active structures that could be subglacial lakes that periodically fill and empty. These hidden liquid masses influence the dynamics of glaciers, modifying the height of the frozen surface and affecting the stability of the ice sheet. This dynamic network of lakes, now numbering 231 in total, forms interconnected systems that redistribute water and can accelerate the movement of ice toward the ocean with a direct impact on sea level. This discovery provides unprecedented insight into the subglacial hydrological system and is critical for improving meteorological models. In short, what Antarctica hides are these active and dynamic subglacial lakes, a hidden system of liquid arteries beneath kilometers of ice that was previously considered static and is now known to be a living system that can influence the stability of glaciers and future sea levels. Reset news. First supermoon of the year. The phenomenon occurs today when the full moon coincides with its closest point to Earth in its orbit, appearing larger and brighter. Trump uses government shutdown to collapse the old financial system and trigger global disclosure. The news is surreal. The White Hats keep telling us we are watching a movie, so let's get out the popcorn and do a little research while sitting on the couch. Trust in the media hits a record low, survey finds. Social media warps people's relationship with violence. Australia will require ID to access YouTube. Woke capitalism declared over, but what will take its place? Nearly a third of EV charging attempts fail, report finds. Crypto Haters Club says crypto is the spawn of the devil. The rise of the stablecoin market to $300 billion is driving the crypto rally. All currencies will be stable coins by 2030. Even fiat currencies will be stable. They'll just be called dollars, euros or yen, declared the Tether co-founder. Scientists in Beijing have managed to rejuvenate old animals with stem cells. The Earth tilted 31.5 inches and that shouldn't happen. Pumping groundwater appears to have a greater impact than previously thought. Middle East. Hamas accepts the agreement with Trump and Jerusalem celebrates a week-long Feast of Trumpets. Netanyahu orders a delegation to Egypt to negotiate the Gaza plan. Israel and Hamas prepare to negotiate a ceasefire in Gaza in Egypt. Israel continues bombing Gaza despite negotiations. Netanyahu to Trump, in quotes, "If Hamas rejects the peace plan for Gaza, Israel will finish the job." President Trump announces that the first phase of his plan for Gaza should be completed this week. Rubio says the peace talks in Gaza are not yet the end of the war. Mediators will know by the end of the week if Hamas accepts the hostage deal. China says it will eliminate Israel if it tries to stop aid to Gaza. European leaders back plan to end war in Gaza. Dutch Supreme Court orders review of F-35 bats export to Israel. Israel detained Greta Thunberg in a cell and forced her to hold flags. USA. Stephen King is the most censored writer in US schools. 70% of the IRS is suspended due to lack of funds. A federal judge blocks the administration from sending the National Guard to Portland. Support for Trump among influential communicators is declining. Trump's dark humor, in quotes, "I have been shot 100 times, stabbed nearly to death, run through with swords, and through a meat grinder." Peter Hegseth strips General McMilley's security clearance. He will be demoted for acts of treason. Report reveals 40% increase in mental health diagnosis among troops. And President Trump built near Venezuela signals possible war. Putin warns that supplying Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine would destroy US-Russia relations. Shutdown. The US government shutdown enters in sixth day as both parties maintain irreconcilable positions. The shutdown leaves the Federal Reserve in the dark. Don't be so sure about rate cuts. Stocks trade at record highs as the government shutdown leaves economic data in limbo. The government shutdown has global repercussions. It strains the financial system. The agreement on services raises concerns about economic stability, credit ratings, and increases geopolitical tensions. Economy. Gold approached $3,950 Sunday night. Gold advances toward $4,000 as the government shutdown drags on. Bitcoin surpasses $125,000. The price of platinum surpasses $1,600, setting a record. Emerging markets appear poised to conclude an exceptional year. Wall Street's big money traders are having their best year yet. Guindos warns of very high valuations in the financial markets. The Central Bank of Russia will launch an audit of the country's cryptocurrencies. Rio Tinto will launch new technology to seek more metals at lower prices. Oil prices will rise after OPEC Plus increases production far less than expected. Loaning frozen Russian assets to Kiev would undermine investor confidence in Europe from countries in the global south, a political scientist points out. Russia rules that all those involved in the theft of Russian assets will be prosecuted. Europe. Von der Leyen faces 2 votes of no confidence as criticism of her continues. The French Prime Minister resigns 1 day after forming a government, after 2 weeks in office, and the stock market plummets, causing political chaos. The countdown begins. French people are demanding Macron's resignation. French assets plummet and the euro plummets after the Prime Minister's resignation. The euro falls and French bond yields rise after the resignation. JP Morgan upgraded its Eurozone rating, citing the attractiveness of equities. Solar energy became the EU's main source of electricity for the first time. Czech Trump Andrej Babiš wins the election and returns as Prime Minister in the latest European populist revolt. Germany admits the unfavorable state of its economy. British public debt reaches record levels under Starmer's government. European leaders fear Trump will blame them for the failure in Ukraine. London prepares a false flag attack in Europe to blame Russia, according to Russian intelligence. Was the Russian drone scare in Scandinavia a false flag operation to crack down on Russia's shadow fleet? A 4th vessel is attempting to rescue a Dutch freighter stranded for a month in the Arctic. Spain. Spain's public debt remains at 103.4% of GDP, but has reached another record high of 1.69 trillion. Home purchases fell 1% in July, and mortgages and prices moderated their rise. Economists raised their 2025 GDP forecast to 3% and inflation to 2.6%. The 28 Spanish flotilla activists report mistreatment during their detention in Israel upon their arrival in Spain. The Spanish defense industry achieves record revenues of 16.2 billion due to geopolitical tension. Warning about Cleopatra, a banking Trojan posing as an internet TV service to steal money in Spain. Americas. The Summit of the Americas excludes Cuba, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. St. Petersburg hosts the largest forum between Russia and Latin America. A 300-year-old Spanish treasure has been found in Florida. Clashes in Mexico over the 1968 student massacre. Mexico is among the 10 countries with the highest tourism revenue. Mexico registered a 7.4% year-over-year increase in exports in August. Mexico City continues to invest in the cablebus cable car. Sinkholes in the Mexican capital have increased by more than 100% in the last year. Mexico is the country that wastes the most food, according to a study. The 23% increase in customs taxes boosts tax collection in Mexico. The U.S. dealt a multi-million-dollar blow to the Jalisco New Generation cartel. Colombia withdraws from the IMF credit line due to improved economic conditions. Peru expects to achieve a trade surplus by 2025 amid trade tensions. Generation Zeta protests have reached Paraguay and are targeting the government. Bolivia records a drop in the number of people who identifies with an indigenous people. Milei tightens exchange restrictions despite liberalizing rhetoric. Milei sends his Minister of Economy to finalize the agreement negotiated with the US. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.